Hey, everybody, this is Vince Gilligan, the writer and director of El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. And that's what you are about to watch with me and my wonderful co-host of this audio commentary.
Hey, everybody. This is Aaron Paul, and I play Jesse Pinkman. Vince, that was great. That was a great opener.
And you're a producer.
Oh,
well, thank you.
Yes. And I am lucky enough to produce this beautiful film that you created.
And I might add, you have a sexy, sexy voice. You sound like a really cool radio, like a nighttime DJ.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I love you. Oh man, I got to just kick this thing off to be on set again with you and a lot of our same Breaking Bad crew, and obviously the beautiful Jonathan Banks there. He just, God, I love that man so much. Wow.
He is a heck of an actor.
Yeah.
He is, this is two great actors on screen right now. How cold was it this day?
This was pretty cold. I remember wanting to constantly keep my, my hands in my pockets that were just crowded with, hand warmers. But I had not seen Banks in some time. And I remember him walking onto set, and everyone gave him this standing ovation. And but yeah, he has, to everyone that doesn't know him, he has the loudest bark with zero bite. He really does. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and is just such a.
He's like a campfire marshmallow that stayed too long in the fire. On the outside is all crispy, crunchy, nasty bitterness, and then on the inside is just gooey deliciousness. Yeah, that's true.
Everyone tells him that. Yeah.
So here we are at this is the Rio Grande. Rio Grande. I guess technically it should be Rio Grande.
And this is the same location you shot where he met his demise in Breaking Bad, right?
That's true. Just maybe a couple hundred feet, couple hundred yards in one direction or the other. Man, I gotta get on my game here. I wanted to say a whole bunch of other stuff about that scene, but now here you are. Driving like a bat out of hell, escaping from the Uncle Jack's compound. Yeah,
he is just so excited to get out of there, and then now he's like, "Oh shit." I remember when I read this for the first time in your office, laying on your couch. I took off my shoes, and I just laid and really took my time with this script. And I mean, police just show up instantly. And I'm like, oh God, he is fucked. But there was a scene here that had to get trimmed for timing.
That's true. There was a gentleman who played the neighbor who lived in the house whose driveway you pulled into, and we cut it. He was wonderful. He did a great job, but we cut it for time. Because this movie, the first cut was almost 3 hours long, and then wanted it to be around 2 hours. Just wanted it lean and mean.
I think the public needs to see the 3-hour version eventually. We'll see. Yeah.
I don't know. Director's cuts are pretty self-indulgent. What about these two knuckleheads?
Look at these two.
I love these guys.
I love them together.
Charles and Matt. It was and these chairs they're sitting in.
Oh man!
Did you wind up with one of these chairs? I can't remember.
No, I actually really wanted one of those chairs. And then I had to talk myself out of it. I just didn't know where to put it. But I really fell in love with it.
They are pretty big. And here you are. Here's you look so just bedraggled here. This is
just so tired. He's just, oh God. Yeah.
Well, I got to say, great credit to the acting, obviously, that goes without saying, but also great credit to Sherry and Lori, our wonderful makeup and hair department heads who really, all those scars on your face, that goes without saying, aren't real. And all that beard and the dirt and the wig and all of that, because you were pretty much shaved right down to your skull in real life for all this.
Truthfully, I never felt more dirty than I did on this film.
Is that true? Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, this, I never ate more cup of noodles in my life.
That was your idea. Because I said, you're going to have to eat a lot of whatever it is, so you got to decide, and it was your idea to do the cup of noodles, which I think was a great idea. Were you afraid you're going to throw up or something?
No, it was all right. I haven't had cup of noodles since, but, this was the first... Was this the first shot?
Yes, this right on screen now is the very first shot we got on the very first day of production. We actually had a couple of pre-production shots, but this was the first day of real production with obviously with you, with our number one on the call sheet. But we got a couple of, I think we got a little time lapse stuff, and I think we got the news conference with the DEA that's coming up on a few days, like a week before this. This actually might have been our very first day of shooting, but the stuff just on the TV screen, and it was just a pleasure seeing D.A. Erickson and she came back just for just to do the silent pop, known and loved, a character known and loved by the fans of Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, yeah.
Or whether they were in fact, I guess the word we keep hearing is liberated. Were they liberated by white from
Oh, these two.
What was it like coming back? I mean, was it hard to get back into character? We just saw one of the first shot you did. Was it tough that first day?
You know what? Truthfully, I was a little nervous about it. But then when I started just prepping, it just felt like no time had passed. And that is, all that credit is given to you and your storytelling. It really, it's true. It just took me back there. And look at this, just the struggles that all of these characters went through. It apparently just really stays with you. I mean, it definitely stayed with me.
So you got back into it pretty quick during the,
I did. And then once and especially jumping back onto set and being surrounded by, your family, that we started on our show, and it was just so many beautiful, familiar faces, but it's great every time a new yet old character comes onto set. Everyone says this is so weird, and it was weird. It was very, very bizarre. None of us expected this. And yet you gave it to us, and we all just had the best time.
I'm so glad. I did too. It was a group effort, my friend, but God, I had a great time. It really was like old home week, and it really was like a feeling of deja vu and all those things. But it was so enjoyable. And this was, as we record this, it was around 13 years ago that we started this whole thing. Not the movie, but the Breaking Bad. So that. This was a good, 10 or 11 years after that first episode that we were shooting this thing.
Oh, man.
These sets here, the bathroom and the bedroom, are built on a soundstage, but they incorporate very nicely into the living room where the guys were sitting in their chairs, which is the living room of a real house. And it's the same living room as the exterior. That's a real house location, but here we're in a soundstage, and I love how the art department, Judy and her design team and her construction team incorporated them together. You can't tell the difference, between a stage set and a real life house.
They really.
I love that these guys use what was it? I love he says Tommy Hilfiger.
I love when he says, just use them all.
Use them all.
Use them all. Yeah.
Somebody had to try that.
Yeah. I love that. He goes, yeah, Badger gave it to me was it for Christmas or?
Yeah, for Christmas.
I love this shot here. I just love that you wanted him to bring the gun into the shower with him, just in case, you know.
You never know.
You never know.
This is how I bathe.
Yeah.
When I do. Yeah. Talk about this. Talk about getting hit with this
was
thing.
an actual fire hose, and you guys were so sweet about making sure that there was a warming tent, nearby. Everyone was so nervous about it. I was actually incredibly excited about it, and it was great. It was fine. It was cold. It was a cold day in Albuquerque, but the water was kind of nice.
It was warm, right? The water coming out of the hose. I told them to make it ice cold, but they didn't listen to me. Bastards.
This shot with the water coming out of the gun was so great.
This was fun. This is the real house, and that's the real backyard you're seeing reflected. Now we're seeing you. For the longest time, and in the script, you were going to go through the whole movie with the wig on, with the long hair.
Yeah.
And we realized a couple of things. We realized that the wig, as good as it is, by Justin Stafford, our wig maker, and Lori, Lori applied it every day. But the more wig you have, the more you risk it looking like a wig. And also, you're a handsome man when you got the aerodynamic look, the streamlined look here without all the hair. So we added in later the idea of you shaving and cutting all
it was
the hair
really
off.
the 11th hour, right? That we decided.
It really was.
That? Yeah,
it really was. And I'm glad we did it. I didn't write it in that way originally because I figure the smart move is to look as different as you did in your mugshot. So long hair might keep you safer. But I think it might have been our producer Melissa Bernstein or maybe Jen Carroll, one of our really smart producers who said, maybe it's more like an emotional thing. He just can't stand having it on his head anymore, so he cuts it even though it may not be the greatest idea.
Yeah, and it's kind of similar to, when he shaved his head for the first time in Breaking Bad. He was going through a very emotional event in his life that you tend to just want to shed layers. And so he just shaved his head out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Old Joe. Larry Hankin. The wonderful Larry Hankin.
Yeah.
I love that Old Joe eats at Red Lobster. You see the Red Lobster bag?
Oh my God! I never noticed that. That's so funny.
Well, he likes lobster.
I love your details. It's so great.
That was all the art department. Although the Red Lobster bag, I think they just had a bunch of old papers that they brought to the set in it. I said, "Oh, you got to put the bag in the frame too." That was a local Albuquerque recycling center that does actually great things because recycling. You say, "Well, it's a big junkyard. It's nasty." No, it's they're recycling. It's very environmentally sound because they're recycling all these metals and whatnot, and they let us shoot there, and that was very cool. It was really fun shooting that stuff with watching the big cars get put into the grinding machine and all that.
Did I ever tell you that I actually contacted the junkyard in Albuquerque, the one that we crushed the RV?
The Winnebago?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I contacted them, and because I wanted to get the bounder side, just the bounder part of the side, and just like hang it on my wall, but they had no idea where it was.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry we didn't. I shouldn't say Winnebago. It's a bounder. Yeah, a whole different company. I'm sorry we didn't. You get a Sawzall out and cut it out for you that day. I'm sorry we didn't do that. We should have. We should have done that.
I know. We totally should have. Yeah.
But so here's. See, by the way, Old Joe's running in front of a bay window there that's just over top of the two trash cans. That is actually the garage of the house. And the art department covered it over with fake stone and a fake window. That's a garage door that all that's hiding.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that is because I wanted them to hide the car in the backyard and have to take down the fence and all that. But you wouldn't do that if you had a garage. You'd put the car in the garage like a normal human being. So they got rid of, it was a story point, so they got rid of the garage by covering it over. It's amazing. It's the magic of the movies. It's amazing.
So smart.
This was, we were shooting this scene for a good 3 or 4 days straight. I mean, not this one scene, but the whole sequence at Skinny Pete's place. And the neighbors were very sweet. We probably annoyed them. We were there like late at night and whatnot. Hopefully, we didn't.
It seemed
annoy
like
them too much.
they were having a good time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just people hanging out, really excited to see us back.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we kept it a secret for as long as we did.
I was just going to say, based on what you just said, God bless them. They did hang out, they did watch, but everybody was super respectful. Albuquerque is the coolest town in the world. If we had shot in Los Angeles, somebody would have had a drone up trying to get video. Someone would have been, trying to put it on TMZ or whatever the hell. And the people of Albuquerque are very cool because a lot of them knew about this, but they didn't spill the beans.
Yeah, they kind of loved being in on it.
Dropped by, the two of us smoked a fat bowl, traded pink slips, then you split. I always wanted me an El Camino, and that's church, yo.
I loved earlier when the basketball backboard when the car bumped into it.
And just fell over.
That was fun.
Oh man, it was so fun to get back to work with these two. My God.
These guys are great, and they're so different than their characters, and yet they do share a sense of fun that their characters have. And yeah. Had you been in touch with these guys?
Yeah. No, we stayed in touch throughout the years, and now this I want to talk about this. Oh my God! Yeah,
talk about it. Go ahead.
Now, every shot that you see, on Breaking Bad, like stuff like this, was all scripted. Mainly, for the most part, by Vince. Like he's just his attention to detail and his vision is just so beautiful. But there's a car mounted on the side of this. There's a camera mounted on the side of this car, and Vince comes up with this shot, and he always says, "Okay." No, he always gives the credit to somebody else. He just says, "No, I just come up with a shot and I say what I want, and then I go off and eat a sandwich, and then I come back and it's done." And actually, it's kind of how it happens.
Yeah.
But we did this particular take. Particular shot. How many times?
I think it was 22 takes.
Yeah.
I am not proud of that. That beat my all-time record of blowing up Gustavo Fring and blowing half his face off.
And that was 21, right? Was that 21? Or 18? What was that?
I was 19, I think.
19,
that was 19.
Yeah.
So I was not proud of that. But it was a very tricky shot because the camera, as you said, is mounted on speed rail, hanging off the side of this old clunker. And by the way, that was part of the problem. Some of the takes were because the damn car wouldn't start, or it would stall out as soon as it backed into the road. But it was on this motion head so that the camera could creep in during the shot. And then you see reflections of the camera in the chrome of the driver's side mirror. And then Ara and his team are the amazing visual effects magicians of rodeo effects managed to digitally erase all of that stuff. So it was a Megillah. But we shot 22 takes. I should not admit this, but we shot 22 takes, and I think I used take 4.
Oh, my God.
And then it cut. So I shouldn't even be saying that. The crew's going to hear this, and they're going to come and kill me.
I think he did such a great job. Charles.
Absolutely.
Really?
Charles. Oh, I love that shot of pushing in on his face as he was starting up the El Camino. We did that in one take because the light was fading, and he just nailed it. Unlike you, who had made me do 22 takes. No, I'm just kidding. No, Charles just nailed it in one take. This was fun. This was
such a fun day.
This was so great. This is the real Albuquerque Police Department. There were a lot of murders that day because all the police were over here in this neighborhood, and we're not policing the rest of the city. But no, that was a joke.
Oh
the
my God.
The entire Albuquerque police force was here in this one neighborhood, and crime ran rampant everywhere else. No,
But look at all of these people that were here, and they all kept it a secret. You know, it's just not a single
cool?
photo was taken and shared.